Hello and welcome to Total Tank Simulator. You play as a commander and you decide your army configuration, tactical deployment on the field of massive battles. We also experience frontline action as you can take control of each individual unit. Although it's not an entirely realistic take on the strategy and warfare genre, as it is showcased by its colourful skins and it's akin to the 8-bit graphics, Total Tank Simulator's Second World War setting does give it a little bit of realism. With a choice of 6 nations to choose from and a variety of units up to 200 plus, the game's campaign mode in particular has more structural framework for traditional strategy fans to sink their teeth into. Here, a selection of scenarios play out for the player, acting as a commander for the 6 nations in question. The battles within generally boil down to meeting specific win criteria, which could be wiping out the opposition force, specifically targeting a selection of VIP units, or conversely surviving a battle by the defeating waves of enemy or keeping your own VIP alive. Victories then allow players to research new units and earn more funds for the battles ahead. Where this becomes more difficult is when you actually deploy them on the field, because once you deploy them, there's nothing you can do. You can control them, but you can't tell them to go to certain areas or flank, or there's no strategy in there. Instead, the player has only 2 options: watch the fireworks and hope for the best, or get down to the ground and take over control of units. This mode works relatively well for a game predominantly focused on strategy, with controls feeling just about crisp enough for those brief moments where the commander can take on the enemy directly. Even so, this more structured play is definitely not an example of when Total Tank Sim is at its best. Victories can be erratic, particularly with the occasional bizarre decision of AIs leading to some strange outcomes in terms of unit movement. Thankfully, the battles are brief, so you won't be waiting too long to have another go at it. The gameplay is very good and it's lots of fun. It doesn't play how you expect for an RTS. Being the commander, you're able to research new units, but you can't upgrade current ones. At the beginning of each tree, there's lots of choices, but as you go down it becomes more linear and there's less branching out. There are 4 types of units in the game. You've got tanks, planes, infantry and arty. Each unit has its challenges when it comes to controlling them, or I'd say artillery is the hardest, as you either have to use the reticle, or which is kind of hard mode, or you can use the map and tell it to fire at a certain location. The graphics are great. I like the low polygon look. It's consistent throughout the game and it works. It's kind of a lot like a totally accurate battle simulator. The smoke and fire effects are done really well. Either the fire or the smoke comes from either a burnt out building or a burnt out tank. I like the way that you can see all the traces from all the shots from like everyone's done, so it shows how crazy the battle is. But there are lots of problems with optimization, and this is a common problem that everyone's finding, and it's kind of a big downfall of the game, because if you're meant to have crazy battles, how can you do that if you just can't get the FPS? The physics, while not being the most realistic, as you can take down a whole house with a single hand grenade, I like the fact that you can destroy everything on the map. It's also cool to see when an explosion happens, it leaves a crater behind. So if you're firing artillery, you can just create a massive hole. I like how if the tank blows up in a bunch of trees, it sets them all on fire and the fire will spread, which is pretty cool. I like that. I also like the fact that when you crash into another vehicle, it actually seems pretty realistic in the fact that you sort of like, you fly up, you can tip over, you can roll your tank, you can do all that good stuff as well. What I'd like to see is a naval aspect added. Maybe Total Tank Simulator, but it's basically a World War II simulator at the end of the day, because you've still got planes and infantry and artillery and all that jazz. So I think it'd be cool to see like a naval aspect. You could then say have it all on one map. So then you've got everything happening on one map, and then you could say if the tanks win, the tanks can then start shooting the boats. That'd be weird but entertaining. Is the game worth it? At the minute, yes. I paid £14.80 for it, and I was expecting it to be £20 plus. Granted, it's got some optimization issues, but once it's got them sorted, it's 100% worth it. I had a huge amount of fun playing it, and I expect that to only get better in the future as they start adding in more units, and more maps, and more madness. Thank you very much for watching my review on Total Tank Simulator, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!
You